So, if you are interested in practicing your pronunciation and improving your pronunciation, then this lesson is for you. My name is Wes, and this is Interactive English, which, this channel is all about helping you practice and improve your English skills. And specifically today is all about practice because I have a lesson for you, which is a little bit of a quiz, and we're going to talk about pronunciation and emphasis. We're going to focus on those two things today. And like I said, it's a little bit of a quiz. So I want you to practice. I want you to participate in today's lesson. I have some questions for you, and I want you to write those answers. I want you to write your answers in the chat or even in the comments. If you're watching this later, participate in the lesson, write your answers in the comments so that I know that you were interacting with these lessons. That is the best way to practice your skills. So let's just start out. We're going to start out with something a bit easier and basic when it comes to pronunciation. And then as we go through this, it's going to get a little more difficult as we go through it. All right. So let's begin with just the basics. And I have a question for you, and that question is this. Which word has 3 syllables? So which of those words right there has 3 syllables? Is it A, subtle, B, coconut, or C, television? What do you guys think? I want you to write your answers in the chat or in the comments. I just want to know that you are participating in these lessons. So what do you think? All right. A, B, or C, subtle, coconut, television. Which word has 3 syllables? All right. So I hope that you answered B, coconut. All right. This has 3 syllables, and if you want to know what a syllable is, because when you start learning pronunciation, this is a good starting point. You want to be able to break down these words into the smallest unit. So in case you don't know, I have it written right there that a syllable is a single unit of speech. In English, it usually contains a vowel, and it consists of either the whole word or just parts in which the word is separated when it is spoken or written. So let me tell you what that means. That it could be the whole word. If I have the word box, okay, it's 1 syllable, it's also 1 word. Or a syllable can be parts of the word, like coconut. It's broken down into 3 syllables, coconut. All right, and the reason that you need to be able to identify different syllables is because when you see a word, you need to understand, well, how many syllables, how many units of sound does this word have? And if you're able to put those units together, you can pronounce the word correctly. And then if you put those words together, then you will pronounce the sentences correctly. And if you put those sentences together, well, then you're having a conversation and people will be able to understand your pronunciation. So let's practice this a little more. Are you ready? So I'm going to give you this word. I'm going to give you a word. I want you to tell me how many syllables does this word have? What I want you to do, I want you to say the word to yourself. This is another great way to practice during this lesson, is that I want you to speak. Wherever you are, if you are at home, if you're on the bus, doesn't matter where you're watching this, actually say the words out loud. Try to say these words and practice your pronunciation. So think about it. Try to say that word, all right? And now I will say it for you. Idiosyncrasy. How many syllables do you think this word has? Idiosyncrasy. All right. So seeing some good answers. A lot of people saying 5. All right. Now, let me show you. The answer, idiosyncrasy, you guys are close. It has 6 syllables. All right. And I've broken them down there for you. All right. Idiosyncrasy. All right, 6 syllables. If you don't know what the word means, I put the meaning down there, and you could expand your vocabulary. So an idiosyncrasy is it's a behavior or a way of thought that is particular to an individual. It's like an unusual feature. So for example, everybody has certain idiosyncrasies. Perhaps somebody, maybe they like to sing in the shower. Every time they shower, they are singing. That is an idiosyncrasy. It is particular to that person. All right. Now, let's get back to the pronunciation. Idiosyncrasy has 6 syllables. Now, if you're wondering, well, how can I tell how many syllables a word has? One way to do that is to take your hand, put it below your chin, and then say the word. And count the number of times that your chin hits the top of your hand. So if I say idiosyncrasy, it's going to hit my chin 6 times. Whoops. 6 times it's going to hit my chin. Idiosyncrasy. And that is the number of syllables. Okay? Now let's go to the next one. Ready? How many syllables are in this word? First, I want you to say the word. You say it out loud, and then you can listen to me say it. So the word is scrumptiousness. Scrumptiousness. How many syllables can you count in that word? And like I said, try to do this. Scrumptiousness. How many are you counting? What do you think? Write your answer in the chat or in the comments. Because again, this is a great way to begin with syllables. It's the basic unit. Now, I tried to trick you with this one. This is a little tricky. Excellent. Yes. Chung, Aziza, AE. Excellent. Give some shout outs. Krishna, there are 3 syllables. The reason I chose this word is because it is a long word, but it has few syllables. Scrumptiousness, and you can see how it's separated there. Scrumptiousness. It is a noun, and it just means that something is, something tastes great. Often, I think it's used more as an adjective, which would be 2 syllables, and you'd say something is scrumptious. It tastes scrumptious. It's another way of something tastes very delicious. It's not very common, but the reason I chose this is because it's a longer word that only has 3 syllables. So now that we've talked about syllables, we're going to come back to that as we move through the lesson. But that is a great way just to begin when you think about pronunciation, to be able to look at a word, especially if you don't know how to pronounce it. Try to identify, well, how many syllables does the word have? How many different units of sound does this word have? And that's going to help you try to pronounce it correctly. Now, let's move on to the next part, which is silent letters, okay? I've given you a sentence right here, and all I want you to do is count how many different silent letters do you see? Now, the reason why this is important is because when you are reading you are going to come across silent letters. You are reading this right now, and as you're reading it, you're probably saying it in your head, in your mind. Even right now, I'd say go ahead and say it out loud. But when you're saying it in your mind, you're still pronouncing the word. And if you're not able to identify those silent letters, then that means the next time you try to actually speak the language, you may end up mispronouncing the word. So how many silent letters do you see right here? I'm going to go ahead and say it for you. So I would say, and you can repeat after me to practice your pronunciation. My mechanic told me to fasten my seatbelt in case I have a wreck. All right? My mechanic told me to fasten my seatbelt in case I have a wreck. How many silent letters do you see in that sentence? All right, getting some different ones. I like it when everybody has a little different, some different answers. Yes, Mahmoud, excellent. AE, Makime, the correct answer is 3, all right? I tried to highlight them for you. I don't know if you can see that. So we have the H in mechanic, the T in fasten, and the W in wreck. Those are all silent letters. I will say it again. My mechanic told me to fasten my seatbelt in case I have a wreck. Those are all silent letters. And like I said, it's important because usually, let's take the word mechanic. In this word, that CH, often we think it has a ch sound, like in cheese or chess or match. But in this case, that H, it's silent, so it has that k sound, mechanic. Now, of course, let's make it more difficult. How many silent letters can you find in this phrase right here? Now, what I want you to do is go ahead and say it to yourself. Say this to yourself right now. Say it out loud. Practice your pronunciation. Then listen to me say it. and try to count the number of silent letters. There are more than 3. I will go ahead and tell you that, but go ahead, say it out loud to yourself, practice your pronunciation, all right? And now you can listen to me say it. So I would say, on Wednesday, the honest knight planned to rendezvous with the gnome next to the castle. On Wednesday, the honest knight planned to rendezvous with the gnome next to the castle. All right. All right. Now, this is a sentence that you're not just going to say in everyday conversation. This is just practicing these silent letters and trying to identify them, because there are quite a few in here. All right. And I don't see anyone. Yes, Busacorn, perfect. There are actually 7 silent letters. All right. You can count them. All right. You have the D in Wednesday, the H in honest, the K in night. There are 2 silent letters in rendezvous, the Z and the S. Rendezvous with the gnome, the G in gnome, and then the T in castle. Those are all silent letters as you're saying this. So again, just so you can listen to me, on Wednesday, the honest knight planned to rendezvous with the gnome next to the castle. And as you're reading and listening, that's a great way to identify silent letters, especially if you're doing something like you're reading subtitles. If you're watching a movie or a TV show and you're using subtitles, that's a great way that you might come across a word and you'll notice, oh, if you say Wednesday, you're not going to hear that D sound. That D is silent. So there are 7 total in that. All right, we're going to switch up. Again, we're going to keep moving along. I have a lot of different activities that I want to do with you today, but if you guys like what we do here at Interactive English, then I suggest you can check out our Patreon page. If you want to support what we do there, I'm going to throw a link right here in the chat. You can also check us out. There is a link in the description. If you guys want to connect with us through Patreon, we really appreciate it. It really helps us continue what we're doing here at Interactive English. So let's switch it up again. All right. My next question for you is this. All right. The most common sound in English is the sound. That's the most common sound in English, is the sound. What do you think? Is it A, TH sound, B, the schwa sound, or C, the E sound? All right. What do you think is the most common sound in English? And of course, if you don't know, that's okay. I'm getting ready to tell you. What do you think? Is it A, TH, B, schwa, or C, that E sound? All right. Well, I hope that all of you said, I'm trying to find some information that I want to share with you. The answer is yes. Excellent. Lolly, Danielle, Molly, I think Leonardo, many of you got this. The most common sound in English is the schwa sound. Now, if you don't know what the schwa sound is, it's right here. It is the schwa sound, which looks like, if you're looking at it using the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, it looks like an upside down E. That is the symbol for the schwa. It is a reduced vowel sound. Now, any vowel can take on this sound, and often it sounds like It's just a reduced sound, and it's just going to sound like an sound. Now, if you want some more information on the schwa sound, we did a lesson a long time ago, which I'm going to share with you right here, and I will also put links to these lessons down in the description below to give you more information about this. So if you're looking to learn a little bit more about the schwa sound and practice the schwa sound, you can check out a lesson we did from a long time ago. I'm getting the link for you right now, and here it is. So I will throw that in the chat. Boom, there it goes. So check out that lesson. It's all about the schwa. I'll give you a lot more information about it. Now, I told you I wanted to come back to the syllables. So what I want you to do is I want you to tell me which syllable has the schwa sound. So I've given you this word. I want you to first identify, well, how many syllables does it have? And then try to determine, well, which one has that reduced vowel sound? Which word has the schwa? So again, I would encourage you, say the word. Say it out loud. Practice your speaking. Okay? Now you can listen to me celebrate. You can listen to me say it. Celebrate. Celebrate. Which syllable do you think has that schwa sound? Celebrate. Now, what you should have answered, celebrate. The syllable that has the schwa sound is that second syllable. All right. So the word celebrate has 3 syllables. There you go. I got to put my fingers in front of the camera. 3 syllables. That second one right there has that schwa. Celebrate. You can hear that celebrate. Now I've given, just so you guys can reference this is the IPA, which stands for the International Phonetic Alphabet. Some of you may be familiar with it, so you can see that how it's written there. And again, that symbol for the schwa is that upside down E, celebrate. I've also given you the phonetic spelling, which is if you were going to say the word exactly how it sounds, this is how you would spell it. Celebrate. So either one, you can use either of these, the IPA or phonetic spelling, if you would like a better understanding of how to pronounce this word. All right, so celebrate, second syllable has the schwa. Let's go to the next one, all right? Which syllable has the schwa sound? This is your word. Say it out loud, all right? What do you think? Say the word out loud and then tell me which one has that schwa. Now I'll say the word too so you can hear me say it. Photography. Photography. I'll tell you, this is a little bit of a trick question. So the word is pronounced photography. Which syllable has the schwa? Or like I said, I could say it's a trick question because I could say which syllables have the schwa sound? All right, so what I mean by that is, yes, some of you, right? Some of you said the first one, some of you said the third one. Actually, you are all correct because both the first syllable and the third syllable have the schwa sound. So in this word, photography, it has 4 syllables. 4 syllables. The first syllable, phi. That third syllable also has that schwa. You can see in the IPA how it's written, that upside down E has that schwa, that reduced vowel sound, that sound. Or in the phonetic spelling, you can actually see that UH written. Photography. The first and third syllable have that schwa sound, all right? So this is good practice to take some of these individual words, identify how many syllables they have, and then be able to understand what the schwa sound is and actually identify, okay, where is it in the word? Because so many words have that schwa sound. And what I would encourage you to do, next time you're listening to an individual word, or take any individual word, and actually see if you can identify the schwa sound. See if that word has the schwa sound and which syllable has that sound as well. Now, what I want to do, because this lesson is about both pronunciation and emphasis, okay? Emphasis is a part of pronunciation, the way that you're saying a word. That's what I want to focus on right now, okay? So I want to take this sentence right here, and we're going to do a different exercise on emphasis. So the sentence is just a simple sentence. I didn't say you stole the money. Okay, I think I can read that sentence. You understand what it means. But what we're going to do is I want you to think about, how does emphasis change the meaning of the sentence? Because depending on which word we emphasize, the meaning is going to change a little bit. And what I would encourage you to do for this is I want you to practice and say these sentences out loud and practice that. And it's a form of shadowing. And what shadowing is, it is a great way to practice your pronunciation, your intonation, your emphasis, and that you are repeating something the exact same way that you hear it. So you're going to listen to me say the sentence with the different emphasis, and I want you to repeat that. And we did a whole other lesson that was all about shadowing. I just threw a link in the chat. If you want to check that out later, I will also put a link in the description for these lessons that I'm mentioning. So let's look at this. I'm going to give you the meaning. I want you to think, which word should you emphasize if you say this? So the meaning is, I didn't say you stole the money. I said you stole something else. Which word would you emphasize if that is the meaning that you want to convey? If that's the meaning of the sentence, which word are you going to emphasize? All right. If you're trying to decide, well, how do I know which word to emphasize? First think about what the meaning is. All right. I said, I didn't say you stole the money. I said you stole something else. So you're talking about the thing that is being stolen. And in this case down here, the thing that is being stolen is money. That is the word that you would want to emphasize. Excellent. I see some of you put money. Lolly, Angela, Derry, Ricardo. Yes, you want to emphasize the word money. So you can listen to me say it, and I want you guys to repeat this as well. Practice your speaking. Practice your pronunciation. So I would say, I didn't say you stole the money. I didn't say you stole the money. You can hear that emphasis on money, and that's what the meaning is. I didn't say you stole the money. I said you stole the painting, all right? Something else was stolen. I didn't say you stole the money. I said that you stole the computer. I didn't say you stole the money. I said you stole the refrigerator, all right? So you get the idea. When you're emphasizing that word, that money, that's going to change the meaning. I didn't say you stole the money. So again, this really depends on the context that somebody is accusing somebody of something else. You're like, oh, why did you say I stole the money? It's like, no, I didn't say you stole the money. I said you stole the the clothes, all right? Anything, all right? Let's look at the next one. So again, we have our sentence. Here's the meaning. I didn't say you stole the money. I implied you stole the money. Which word would you emphasize to have that meaning? I didn't say you stole the money. I don't want to. I didn't say you stole the money. I implied you stole the money. And if you don't know what it means to imply something, it means to suggest. To imply means to suggest that something happened. Now, again, if you want to identify the word, all right, that's the meaning. You want to identify the word. Well, if you are suggesting something, in this case, you're not suggesting, you're saying it. So the word you want to emphasize is say, and that is going to tell us that meaning, all right? Excellent. So some of you got it. So if I said, listen to how I say it and repeat it. I didn't say you stole the money. So if somebody says, I didn't say you stole the money, then I didn't say it. I did something else to imply it. Maybe I pointed my finger, all right? I didn't actually speak it out loud. I didn't say you stole the money. I used my eyes and said, it was this person over here. He stole the money right there, all right? I implied it. I didn't say it. So if somebody says, well, I didn't say you stole the money, it means you didn't say it, but you maybe did something else to imply that this was stolen. Let's continue because I know this is a little challenging. This is difficult when it comes to really understanding the meaning of what somebody says. Now I've given you the word that I want you to emphasize, and I want you to think about, well, what is the meaning? First, I want you to say this on your own, and I want you to emphasize the word you. And then you can listen to me say it, And then again, try to repeat it. Practice shadowing so that you are emphasizing it the same way that I am. Okay? So if you want to say it, you're emphasizing it. I would say, I didn't say you stole the money. I didn't say you stole the money. What does that mean? If somebody says, well, I didn't say you stole the money. What do you think? All right. So if you're emphasizing you, all right, excellent. Sandrine, perfect. Lolly, nice. The 14, GABCP20, excellent. So if you're emphasizing you, all right, you're saying, well, I didn't say you stole the money. I said somebody else did. I didn't say you stole the money. I said that Wes stole the money. Or I didn't say you stole the money. I said that the child stole the money. So again, when somebody's emphasizing you, then that's the word that's going to change. That word is going to change and it's going to take on a new meaning. What if I said, let's do a couple other practice. So there, I don't know if you can see it. The word I is highlighted. That's the word that I want you to emphasize. Now, I want you to practice saying it, and then again, listen to me say it, and then think about, well, what is the meaning? Because this is a great sentence to use in that you can emphasize each word, and it's going to give you a different meaning, all right? What does it mean? So if we're going to emphasize, if somebody says, well, I didn't say you stole the money. I didn't say you stole the money. What is that? Now that I emphasize I, what does that mean? If you're telling somebody and somebody says, well, wait, why did you say I stole the money? I said, whoa, I didn't say you stole the money. Yes, many of you, excellent, got it. So if you're emphasizing I, what it means is, well, I didn't say you stole the money. Someone else said it. I didn't say you stole the money. It was this person. This person said that you stole the money. I didn't say you stole the money. So again, this is a great exercise to be able to listen to something because you're going to hear this. If you're watching a movie or a TV show, people are going to use emphasis quite often. And depending on the word they emphasize, the meaning can change a little bit. Let's look at another one, all right? I've given you this sentence. This is the last live lesson of December. I want you to emphasize is, okay? And unfortunately, yes, this is actually true. This is actually true. This is the last live lesson of December. I just gave you the example. I just emphasized it for you. So you can try to practice your pronunciation, practice your shadowing, say it with me. This is the last live lesson of December. Okay, now when I emphasize is, what am I saying? Because we use, I'll tell you, this is a sentence in the present simple. We use the present simple in this case to talk about things that are facts. All right, I could say, the sun sets in the west. This is the last live lesson of December. If I emphasize that is, then basically what I'm telling you is that this is a fact. I'm emphasizing the fact that, well, this is a certainty. It is a fact. It will definitely be the last live lesson of December. I know, shocker, spoiler alert. We're going to travel for the holidays, so this will actually be the last live lesson of December, but I will be back in January. I'll be back before you know it. Don't worry about it. Actually, our schedule is going to be changing a little bit for the rest of this month. I will give you a little more information about that later on. But this is a good example that if you are emphasizing is, it's just talking about that certainty. You're saying something definitely is going to happen. Yes, like somebody mentioned, Julian, this is true. Perfect. All right. Honey, it is a fact. Yes, this is the last live lesson of December. Practice that speaking. Say that. Practice your shadowing. Now let's look at this one. One more. I want you to emphasize the word the. Okay. Now, when people emphasize the word the, this is when you might hear them say the instead of the. Could say the. So, personally, I kind of just stick with the. I don't really catch myself saying the often, but I could say it again. Practice it. Say it after me. He's taking me to the dance. Or I could say, he's taking me to the dance. And we're emphasizing the, or you could say the. And in this case, think about it. When we use that article, the, we are talking about something specific. So if I'm emphasizing it and I'm talking about the dance or the dance, he's taking me to the dance. He's taking me to the dance. What does that tell you about the dance? All right. Now, if somebody is emphasizing it, that you may even hear them emphasize the word that comes after the noun. Yes, Saeed, perfect. It is a dance that everybody knows about. It is the dance or the dance. It means that it is either, maybe it is the only dance, or perhaps it is an important dance. But whoever you're talking to, that person knows about this dance. You don't have to specify. You can just say, well, it is the dance or the dance. It might be the only one or it is the most famous one. And that is a way that you can emphasize and stress, well, like it is the one that everybody knows about. Okay, so this is great practice about how you can use emphasis to not only just change meaning, but really emphasize the meaning of what you're trying to say. Because like in this case, you don't need to explain, you don't need to give the name of the dance. This is the dance. Everybody knows about this dance. So let's do another. We're gonna practice a little bit more. And what I did yesterday, and this is something I may do later on in the future, I asked all of you guys. I said, well, what are some words that you would like me to pronounce? And I've taken some of those words and I've put a list together. And that list is right here. So I'm not going to spend a bunch of time going through this. I've given you the word, the meaning, and I've given you both the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, if you are familiar with that and you understand those symbols and you can practice pronouncing it, as well as the phonetic spelling in case that helps you to be able to see how it's spelled. So again, I will say the word. I would encourage you to say it after me. All right. This word is thorough. Thorough. These are some difficult words that all of you in our community have asked about. I got these words. This is from our patron community. And then I got to a few words from just everybody. So thorough. It's just talking about extremely attentive, complete. I hope all of you do thorough work. I hope that your work is thorough. Thorough. The next word is listened. Someone in our patron community asked about that ed ending. And if you want to learn more about that, again, we have another lesson. We talked a lot about how to pronounce those ed words. This is very important because if you're talking about those regular verbs, that ed ending, it can have three different forms. In this case, listened. All right, that final sound is a voice sound, that you can hear that, feel that vibration in the throat. So that ed is going to have a D sound at the end, but it is not an extra syllable. So listen has one syllable. Listened, also just one syllable. It is one syllable. Listened, listened, listened. All right, that is a good one. Hope that, oh wait, let me post that. There you go. There, that is the ED lesson that I just put in the chat. If you guys want to check that out, again, I will leave a link in the description to these lessons that I mentioned today. The next one, democracy. Democracy. It's talking about government by the people, many forms of governments. Countries have a democracy. Now, notice that schwa in that third syllable, democracy, democracy. Personally, I think if I'm speaking, I'm having a conversation, sometimes I actually pronounce that first syllable also with a bit of a schwa sound, and I say democracy, democracy. But again, the schwa really definitely is in that third syllable, democracy, democracy. Again, say it after me. Repeat that. This is a great time to practice your pronunciation. The next word, many people are confused with that RL, especially that RLD combination. World, world. It's talking about the earth or the globe. I think you're familiar with this word, world. There's the IPA. Check out the phonetic spelling in case it helps. World. All right, that LR. You can hear that earl. Girl, twirl. All right, world. You do hear that D at the end, world. All right, the next word is this one, sixth. Sixth. This is the ordinal number for 6. Again, use the IPA or the phonetic spelling to help you pronounce this word. Say it after me. Sixth. I think it ends with that x, that X, and then you got to transition into the TH. Sixth. 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 All right, you can feel like the air coming out at the end. Sixth. All right, the next one. I may do a whole lesson on these words later and just ask you guys for more words. The next word I have for you, people were asking about this word, entrepreneur. Again, this is another loan word that English has taken from French. This is a French word that English has taken it. We now use it. Entrepreneur is a person who starts a business. It has 4 syllables. Entrepreneur. There you go. Entrepreneur. Person who starts a business, entrepreneur. Say it after me. Entrepreneur. And you are going to have that schwa sound in that second and third syllable. Entrepreneur. All right. The next word is, somebody mentioned, conscientious. I think this word is difficult to pronounce because of the way it's spelled. And that spelling, I think, can really throw people off. What it means is that you are controlled by what you think is right. You are going to do the things that you think is right, and you might try to make a conscientious decision. You're going to make a decision based on what you think is right, a conscientious decision. All right, it has 4 syllables, and you have that schwa in that final syllable. Say it after me. Conscientious. I am going to make a conscientious decision. Conscientious. Next is the word queue. And this is just referring to a line when people are waiting. Instead of saying a line, you could say a queue. Those 2 words are synonyms. Line, queue. Again, the pronunciation, the spelling and the pronunciation can throw people off a little bit. You're saying it, you're pronouncing it like you are saying the letter Q, the name of the letter Q. So you just pronounce it Q. Oh, God, yesterday I had to wait in such a long queue. It was terrible. I hate it. Or you go to some place and you find that there is a queue. There is a line. You have to wait in it. There is a queue. The next word is eerie. All right. This means something is eerie. It's an adjective. It means there's a strange or just a weird feeling. Often that something is wrong. Eerie. The pronunciation, I think if you can use the IPA or the phonetic spelling, I think that you can understand a little bit easier. Again, eerie. Both of those vowels, you start with the long vowel sound in the first syllable, ear, and then it ends with that long E sound as well. Eerie. Eerie. Something is eerie. It's strange. It's confusing. It's unusual. It's eerie. Then the next word, again, months. It's a word that I think, you know this word. It's a very common word, but people have trouble pronouncing it sometimes. It is a challenging word to pronounce. A month, it's a part of the calendar year, months. Especially, I think, when you're referring to it in the plural and you're talking about more than 1 month and you'd say several months. Several months. All right, look at the IPA, look at the phonetic spelling, repeat after me, months. You can slightly hear that TH sound, months, months. All right. I wish I could take a vacation for several months. I'm sure all of us would like to take a vacation for several months, but it's just not possible. Months. Then we have, all right, literally. This means in a strict sense, word for word, you do something literally, you say something literally. I think, again, it's challenging because of that R and L, or that L and R sound, literally, literally. Try to repeat it after me. Practice your pronunciation literally. Use that IPA, that phonetic spelling. That is a great guide in order to pronounce these words literally. All right. The next word, hypocrisy. Hypocrisy has 4 syllables. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. That schwa is in that 3rd syllable. Now, you guys, you know what that schwa sound is. That reduced vowel sound sounds like a. Hypocrisy. Say it after me. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Perfect. And massage. This is, I think some people might confuse it with the other verb, message, in which it is spelled differently too with an E. But this is talking about you're treating your body, a rub, giving a massage. And that first syllable has that schwa, massage, massage. Okay, massage. I hope you could say it after me, massage. This is a great way to actually practice your speaking skills. And again, these notes, this is something that for patrons, if you're at a certain level, we do put our notes up on for those patrons because I think it's useful, it's helpful. We make those notes available to people. So again, if you're not able to connect with us through Patreon, that's perfectly okay. Another way to connect with us is based on our email list. If you want to have access to the secret fluency lesson, we send different lesson updates and just talk a little bit about what we do. We also share some resources with you as well. There is a link in the description. I'm throwing a link right there in the chat in case you want to check that out. So there's a lot of links that I just gave you today. I hope that you found this lesson useful. If you did, participated in the activity and actually spoke to me and practice your speaking skills, let me know. Write the word speaking in the comments. That way I know that you were actually participating and practicing your pronunciation, practicing your emphasis. If you enjoyed this lesson, this little quiz about pronunciation and emphasis, hit that like button. That tells me, well, okay, I should do more of this next time because there is value, that you guys find it very useful to practice your pronunciation, to practice your emphasis. You can always write to us in the comments. We love hearing from you. And join us on social media. We are active on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, here on YouTube, all right? Excellent, Hani, perfect, speaking. Modez, perfect. Thank you guys so much for joining. Remember, this is the last live lesson of December. I will be back for more in January, starting a whole new year. Can you believe it? I think this is our 100th lesson of 2019. We have done 100 lessons this year, which is pretty incredible. Very happy that you guys have been with me this whole time. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Brian, Pierre, Lusa, just giving some quick shout outs. Princess Mira, AP, AE, The Star in the Sky, excellent. Marat, Chang, thank you for participating. FA, Daniel, Rush. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope you have a strong finish to 2019, and I will see you guys back here in 2020 for another live lesson. We will have more lessons this year, this month in December. There will be more lessons. Keep an eye out for those, but I will be back for a live lesson next year, and I will see you guys then. All right, so long.